than one ideology, right? So I understand King James Version of the Bible. I know and understand King James Version. The little tricks to it, like if you have a King James Version of the Bible and you really trying to understand it, you got to have a Bible dictionary and a Bible concordance,
Right.
or you're not going to be able to get the real meaning of what it's saying. And then you need some kind of enlightener to point little things out to you. And that's about all you need. Like if they point out to you, see when the Bible say Lord and Lord, look and see which one is the capital Lord and which one is the lowercase Lord, and that's a difference. See, when Abraham spoke to the angels and said Lord, it was lowercase.
Lord, big, right.
It was
Okay.
lowercase.
Little, right, okay.
But when he spoke to the Creator, which it would have been IHVH, it was a letter uppercase.
Letter now, right.
Uh-huh.
So the upper
Right.
Right.
And you don't understand, that's how they spoke in King's English. We do it in English too. American English, because that's one of the rules. If I'm using your name, it wouldn't matter where in the sentence I use your name. It's supposed to be a capital letter.
Right.
Not just at the beginning, but if I'm saying, if I'm talking, I could be saying I and use it as a capital I if it's at the beginning of the sentence. You don't put a little I in the middle of the sentence because it's an I.
Right.
Those little rules that
Right.
motherfuckers might not know. That if we write an essay and you put a little I in the sentence in the middle, dude, that's not correct. It's supposed to be a big I. What are you doing? You can't. You supposed to. If you starting off the sentence, there's certain ways you starting it off. You know. So anyway, I'm just saying those little rules they use in the English language when you read in the Bible, because they couldn't. That's the translation from the Hebrew. Right? At the end of the day, the story is really about Hebrews, not Christians. There wasn't no Christians then.
Right.
I think it went out. There wasn't no Christians in those days. There wasn't even any Christians in Jesus' days. They was all Hebrews. According to that story. I mean, the scholars, the fact finders, they're gonna say, what about Horus or Heru? That the story of Jesus really came from Heru, Kemet. Right, I know, but based on we just going with the regular story, even in that, it doesn't correlate with the Europeans' depictions of it. Right? If you just go, I'm just going to go regular, no high science. I'm not using metaphysics. I'm not using Dr. Ben. I'm just going to use plain old King James Version, a Bible dictionary, and a Bible concordance. And I'm not even going to need the Bible concordance or the Bible dictionary when you go to Revelation and say feet like brass that have been burnt in the oven. And then it's going, well, feet like brass. If you get brass and you burn it in an oven, especially if you're using the oven of the ancient days, the oven they use, definitely it ain't going to come out white. It's going to come out black.
Right.
And then lamb's wool, anything that got anything to do with the idea of lamb or wool or that texture is associated with the original man. That right there. That gotta be. We're not the only ones with that kind of hair, but we know who we are who have that kind of hair. Wool hair, like lamb's wool, associating it. The hair of the original people with lamb's wool. So that right there lets me know that the picture doesn't correlate even with just a King James version of the Bible. Without going into no high science. That's why I'm saying that the truth, 120 shows you how to see it no matter what they use. If you apply mathematics alphabet 12 Jews 120 to whatever book you pick up, you'll know if it's fronting or not. It doesn't know what it's talking about. Because if it doesn't correlate with 120, you know it ain't correct. Oh, it's that made up shit.
Right.
So when you back check and you go, all right, let me go and do fact checks with, I'm gonna just have 120 here, and it said, oh, the original man, the first man. And then the Christians will try to teach you that the first man should be Adam. But inside of the story of Adam, you see that Cain goes to the land of Nod to find a wife. Well, that doesn't correlate with there's no one else on the planet. Maybe there's no one else in that region where they were at. But that wasn't the whole planet. So now, and then if you cross-reference the story of Eve, you find out that Lilith and Adam came around the same time based on what I saw. It looked like they both were made manifest at the same time. Lilith wouldn't submit to Adam, so Adam received Eve. And then the second Eve, the second woman, which was Eve, the first Eve, they didn't work out. He didn't like her. And so he got a third one, and that was the Eve that he had. Adam, Cain, and Abel. That was it.
Right.
Okay. So now you don't see that in the King James. That's not there. But any Protestant that's a Mason knows that story. They might not tell you, and they might be Protestant, Mason, and the Baptist minister. Pentecostal or Baptist, and they'll have that information of King Solomon, and they'll know about Sheba, and they'll know about him in a way that the regular people won't know. Right. So, but I'm saying to say that is that the information, if you look at your 120 and you look at whatever they got, you'll be able to say, oh no, you trying to program me. That's propaganda. That's not true, right? Now, people say, "Oh, but he didn't." No, listen. There's plenty 5%ers that ain't doing what it say do. That's the different part of it. It's you don't have to be religious with it. People don't do it, but they not telling you that to advocate and say that's what you should be doing. There's plenty of motherfuckers eating foods that not recommended. Through the lessons. Plenty. Now, but when they feeding their babies, if they know that they're not supposed to eat it, they don't give it to their baby. They let the baby make a choice when they grow up. But when they're letting them growth and development, their bones are still growing. You really should lead a baby close to being a baby and feed it right and exact. As close to the sun as you can get the food to be. Everybody's really trying to get sun energy, right? At the end of the day, you eating the animal because it ate grass, because the grass did photosynthesis, and so what? Everybody's still trying to get the sun at the end of the day. You just can't absorb the sun's full potential just standing there. You can't create photosynthesis, and you can't do that. Even your hair can't do it. Maybe at one time, old ancient lessons say, when the man first fell, he was more in tune with the universe, and so he didn't really need food. But I also know the story when they first fell, they didn't have an umbilical cord neither, because they went from fleshless to flesh. Then they started, that was procreation after that. Because once we manifest ourselves, we're like infinity, no matter from the point of when we do it might have a beginning, but it may not have an ending. So once we went from the fleshless world to the flesh world, then we start procreating, so that make it endless. See, we don't run out of us,
Right.
because we just have to find a woman, and your body does it without you really being in control of it. You don't really make yourself, like, you don't have to consciously be aware of your radar when somebody come by that you're attracted
but
to.
I understand what you're saying.